This is Ki Innes of Ki Creative Studio, Master Drawing Japan. And anyone who knows me knows that John Buscema and Frank Frazetta are two of my most favorite artists because I'm always talking about them in my classes. And what makes them so great is they both have a great mastery for drawing the human figure and drawing the human figure in a way, that is not just appealing, but seems to have a sense of like power and dynamics, but at the same time like having like a very very like natural flow to it. And I want to talk about an approach towards drawing that both of them use when they're sketching, that I use sometimes, and it might be helpful to you in terms of like how you get down to figure and how to make your figures look more natural, or to seem more loose as opposed to like looking stiff sometimes. But before I do that, I wanted to take a look at these two books, because these two books, these two sketchbooks, I highly recommend picking them up if you're interested in learning about like how to try to figure. I'll start with the John Buscema one first, and this one is very easy to get. This you can buy this online. It's easily accessible. There are a few John Buscema sketchbooks out there, but I think this is probably the best one that you can probably get your hands on. So let me put this Frazetta one to the side for a moment. I'll come back to that. Okay. So yeah. So John's sketches here, you can see, that they're perfect example, are very, very loose and free, but they're very clear, right? They're very, very clear. These are great. These are not exactly the ones I wanted to talk about, but mostly like here, exactly like these gesture and contour drawings. So when John, exactly, when John is drawing, like he doesn't spend a lot of time like laboring over over details. He has a very good sense of anatomy and proportion and things like that, but he doesn't hold himself down, by working out the minutia. He wants to get like what the overall gesture is, and then he'll flesh it out a little bit, just so that that it conveys, like just the most basic information that is necessary, to convey what's happening here. Yeah, these are really really great. Um, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. So there was someone at Disney, who said, that you know drawing messy is okay. It's fine, just as long as the drawing is clear. And all these drawings you can see here are very very clear. For example, here, like what he did was like he just has like this nice sweep here, but it's very clear. This is a man, who's like sliding forward, right? There's like one leg that's a little bit more forward, one is a little more back. You can tell like which way his chest is going. So when you draw, you want to get like the basic gesture down first, but you want to do it as loose as possible. Like don't waste your time, laboring over like I don't like details in the hair and things like that, or trying like to get the eyes perfect and stuff like that. Believe it or not, when even though we tend to gravitate towards the eyes and the face of a figure, because as in terms of a personality, that's what we want to identify with. But it's the overall, it's the total that we identify with, that we understand who the figure is and like what they're doing. So there's no necessary, in other words, like this girl who's reclining here, this pose of her like leaning in to this pillow, and this, in this nice smooth kind of way, and it's, this very very like, yeah, sultry and youthful kind of way, that says a lot more about who she is than like just her cute face, right? So there's no need, to, spend time on the face. The face is really, if anything, I would liken, the details in the face to like special effects in a movie. Like the real story, of course, is actually like, the story that happens in a movie. Special effects and things like that. Those are the things that actually helps. Yeah, that helps like the impact, of the story. So yeah, this is what I mean. So, this sketch might be like, it might look very dirty or whatever, but it is very clear like what is happening. Like, you have like this male figure here, you have this female figure here, and yeah, you can feel like the weight. Like what, of course, what the gesture is, that this woman is like leaning into him. He's standing strong, chest is pushing out. So John Buscema, I think it was a book. I think it was the Comics Journal, I think, where he actually he broke down, how he goes about. I mean, from start to finish, how he goes about like breaking down his very loose drawings, and then like taking them to a complete finish. But if you can't get your hands on that, he also goes into it in how to draw comics the Marvel way. That's also a very very good example as well. So yeah, and so you can see how loose these drawings are. Okay, but they all convey, what the overall story is, right? So like, I guess what I'm trying to get at, so like when you draw, when you set out to draw the gesture, you don't want to, labor on like small details. Get the overall idea down first, right? Get the total idea first, okay? Don't don't focus so much on like, okay, I'm gonna draw his head, I'm gonna draw his arm, and I'm gonna draw his other arm. You got to think about the whole thing, the whole entire thing when you're drawing. The same thing, like even the relationship for the horse. You have to consider all that as like one thing, and then how that works together. All right, so yeah, I'll come back to this another day, because actually, like, John Buscema is really the person. I think people should really, if you want to like look at any like comic book artists in terms of their drawing style and ability, John Buscema is definitely at the top of that list. Okay, this other book. Okay, this is the Frank Frazetta sketchbook, and yeah, okay. I think today is Frank Frazetta's birthday, so it's not a reason why I'm doing this video. I was planning to do this video anyhow, but I thought it was only fitting that I mentioned that. So yeah, so Frank also like draws. Yeah, for example, like this is a very very good example. You can see this whole composition is how rough and loose it is, right? But it conveys, like the gestures very clearly, very 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 clearly. Yeah, here's another good example of not what I recommend you guys to do actually. If you could find like some of like Frank Frazetta's his thumbnails, like his preliminaries that he did before he actually like did his finished pieces. Take a look at those, because for example, like these have a lot of information in there. It conveys a lot of power. For example, like yeah, this Tarzan preliminary here. Everything that's in here is communicated in this finished ink drawing that he did, right? But this drawing he did is very loose. You know, you can feel the weight of him like falling forward with this woman on top of him. This book I highly recommend. It's really, of course, you know, it's filled with a lot of his studies from his life drawing classes, which are great. But of course, you know, those drawings are not exactly the kind of drawings I'm talking about right now. Of course, he spent more time on these. Goodness, great Conan. Yeah, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. What I like to call these kinds of like quick sketches, I like to call them like intelligent scribbles. Intelligent scribbles are really a good way to approach figure drawing, which is when I scribble, I don't mean scribbling meaning like drawing without thinking, but drawing loosely, but with a sense with a sense of the total idea of what you want to get down in the picture, right? And most likely, it's like the energy and the power of that figure. For example, like this guy, obviously, he's kneeling on this one foot. His body is arced over here like this, but his balance is obviously it's offset by this other foot. This arm is going to come down at some point because it's raised up in the air like that. If you guys are like confused, or if you're frustrated or like unsure about like how to like get that feeling of like energy into your drawings, there's something I like to, there's a mantra that I have when I draw, which is like this is the priority that I think about, which is the gesture, like rhythm, volumes, and weight. Okay, and if you look at Frazetta's drawings, or even like John Buscema's drawings, you definitely can get a sense of that at all times, right? This witch here, the gesture is very clear, right? The rhythm there's a rhythm there. Even though these arms are shooting up, you can feel that it's complementing the rhythm of the woman's body. Volumes are very clear. You know how her weight is being distributed. Yeah, this. You see how loose that is? He did not take a lot of time on working that out. I mean, at least this particular drawing. I'm not saying the idea, but that particular drawing, he did not waste a lot of time on it. Another way of also helping yourself to make drawings that are loose is like try to like draw in a shorter period of time. Like do a lot of exercise, do like a lot of like 1 minute exercises. Actually, that's what I do in my drawing classes. That I have my students always start off doing like a series of like 1 minute poses, because the 1 minute pose is always it always sets everybody straight in terms of like the reality of drawing, right? Because there's only but so much information you can get down in a short period of time, so you don't waste time like looking at inessential details, but you want to look at like what is the most important thing that is being communicated about that figure, right? I guess that's what it comes down to, like really isolating like what is like the most important thing being communicated by that figure, right? And that's what what we want to get down first. Okay, there's a lot more stuff in here. I'm not gonna go through. I'm almost done actually. Um, and it's really, yeah. Um, now these were done in pen, you know, but you know you can still use like the same approach in pen. Actually, that's another thing I recommend to my students, you know, which is also like to draw in pen. Pen also helps like to straighten you out in terms of like being clear about like what you're drawing, you know. There are there are two other artists that I want to recommend for you guys in terms of doing like intelligent scribbles or quick sketching. One person is Heinrich Clay. You could look him up. Heinrich, H-E-I-R N R-I-C-H, and Clay. Clay is spelled K-L-E-Y. He was a German illustrator around the time, I think around the time of the war. He does like a lot of like really nice, very loose pen drawings that I highly recommend for you guys to look at. Another person I recommend, I can't find it right now. No, I can't leave my chair right now. There's a Disney artist named Ron Husband, and Ron Husband is very famous for doing like quick sketches, and he really has a really good sense of conveying the gesture and very very simple drawings. Actually, you know what? I'll probably do another video on intelligent scribbles, but using Ron Husband, and maybe I'll try to pull up some Heinrich Clay stuff as well for you as well. Okay, so all right. So really quickly, so how to do it, right? How do we do it? So, you know, let's say I was gonna like draw like some guy, you know, I don't know, again, it gets in the spirit of Frazetta and Buscema. I'm gonna do like some warrior guy, right? So if I was like to do that, and I want to see like a guy like maybe like, you know, he's about like to attack or something like that. Um, First of all, you know, you want to get the gesture down first, right? And you see, I'm not spending a lot of time. Um, did not spend any time, you know, laboring over like, you know, um, you know, what the the arms is gonna look like and stuff like that. I just want to get like, you know, what the overall, the basic idea is gonna look like, right? So from here, even from this simple thing here, you know, then I could start like working in my volumes, right? So I could put like a large volume chest like that, and then a basic volume like um, for the pelvis, volume here for this part of the leg, volume this part of the leg here. All right. Now actually, the way as I understand, um, John would actually even like work even like looser than this, to be honest. Okay, head is here, right? Arm, arm. Okay, I guess I'll put some like weapon in his hand here like that. It's like maybe he's like swinging. Put another arm here like that. And another thing, you know, a good thing for like for doing scribbles, you know, you can make your adjustments a little bit more easier this way, as you know, as you're adjusting, because you haven't like you haven't committed to anything just yet. So there's the basic pose. That's basically it, right? Now from here, there are two ways we can do it. Now sometimes, um, you know, John Buscema would, maybe just he'll put in like a lot some values for like light and shadow, so you can see like like where things are gonna be, right? So say maybe he'll just put some value here like for the hair, um, and you know maybe like where the shadows are being cast, what have you. Okay. All right. So again, this it's there's more being communicated here now, obviously, right? Right. So already, we have like the sense of like of some sort of fighter or something like that. But again, the details, are very loose at this point. So again, it would not take much from actually, from here, you know, in many ways we're pretty much we're pretty much done, to be honest. You know. Um, One other approach towards drawing, um, is to kind of like consider like your drawing is like um, you're bringing things like into focus, right? So it's kind of like like when if you have like a lens or something like that, and if you squint, you know um, maybe you're just gonna see like the overall like large shapes, right? But the more you allow yourself to um, open your eyes about what's happening, or right, you'll start to see uh, uh, more detail about about the figure. You know. Okay. So there we go. All right. So from this, it would not take much, for me to, for example, now I would like think about like things like the face, you know, put that in there like that. Um, yeah, I'll probably I'll flesh out musculature, a little bit more, where things ought to be, right? And that's what really drawing um, is really like. It's not about getting everything. Um, it's not about getting everything on the first hit, or the first pass. I should say, right? it's a process. It's a process of constantly refining and then like bringing things into focus. Mm. Okay. Okay. So you see, and did not waste time, with like small details and stuff like that, because otherwise, you're gonna lose it at that point, right? You're gonna lose it by focusing on things that are really not that important, you know. Okay. All right. Well, okay. I'm not gonna overwork. I'm not gonna overwork this drawing, but I just wanted to give you the basic idea of like how to do like an intelligent scribble drawing. So my point is that I can take this drawing actually, and I can work it even further, obviously, and refine it until it gets to a finished drawing, but I think it communicates exactly everything that I wanted to communicate, you know um, about this overall total. Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop here with that, and I hope that was a little bit helpful. Okay, if you have any comments, or please like leave them below, or if you got any requests, please let me know. All right. See you next time.